Chapter 1. Sherlock Holmes is certainly not like other men. He's a thinking and observing machine. He has no time for other people. He is not interested in friendships, except for ours, I would like to think. And he would certainly not waste his time on any type of romantic relationship. I know that he thinks of some women as pretty. He has told me so himself. But I have never seen him give more than 2 minutes of his attention to any woman. Well, except for one, the one he calls the woman. Her name is Irene Adler. One night, towards the end of March, 1888, I happened to be passing Baker Street on my way home from visiting a patient. I hadn't seen my friend, Sherlock Holmes, for some time. My medical practice took up most of my time, and I devoted the rest to my dear wife. Every now and then, the newspapers would tell me a little about what Holmes was doing. He still liked to study crime and use his extraordinary powers to solve the mysteries that baffled the police. In the case of the Trepov murder, he had been sent to Odessa, a city in Ukraine. He had also cleared up the tragedy of the Atkinson brothers in Ceylon, and after that he had carefully carried out a mission for the royal family of Holland. Besides these stories, I knew nothing of my friend's day-to-day activities.
Holmes continues to astonish the public with his unparalleled detective skills, solving cases that leave the police perplexed.
It was raining on that day in late March, and there were not many cabs free. As I passed the well-remembered door, I looked up to Holmes' window and suddenly wanted to see him again. His rooms were brightly lit, and I saw the silhouette of his tall, slim figure pass twice behind the blind. He was walking briskly up and down the room with his head sunk on his chest and his hands clasped behind him. This was a walk I had seen many times before. It meant that Holmes was at work. He was clearly hot on the scent of some new mystery.
Need a cab, sir? Not many available in this weather.
I rang the bell. It was answered by the landlady, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, Dr. Watson, sir, you're soaking wet. Let me have your coat. This damp will not do your war wound any good.
I smiled at her and took off my wet things.
Mr. Holmes is in one of his moods. He doesn't want me to send dinner up until he calls, but I'm sure he will be pleased to see you.
I climbed the stairs to the rooms that I used to rent with Holmes and knocked on the door.